The sleeves on this cute little jacket need to be hemmed up. They're just too long. This isn't going to be a complicated hem job, as sleeve hemming jobs go, because it isn't a business suit with the 3 or 4 buttons you might find along the wrist area here. It will more simply be a matter of hemming up the jacket and the lining inside. These jacket sleeves need to be hemmed up 1½ inches. So we will mark with chalk the 1½ inches on the outside of the jacket. Next, we'll release the lining. Take the seam ripper and confidently rip. All the way around. Once the lining is detached, turn the jacket inside out, if you haven't already done so, to release the lining from the sleeve. And we'll now mark off that 1½ inches from the lining. Pull the sleeve back from the lining and mark. Noticing that the original hem is a mere ½ inch or so, allow a ½ inch extension from your fold line. Lining likes to move, so just do as accurate a job as you can. Get the job done on the other side, marking off the depth of the hem or the new fold line. Mark off that ½ inch. And you are ready to cut on the new cutting line, which is the line closest to the edge. Press your hem. Let's go back to the sleeve, pull it out entirely from the lining, see how the old hem is about the 1½ inches that we are now going to hem it up. So essentially I can just cut along the old fold line and then I'll press up on the new fold line. For your purposes, you want to honor however deep that measurement is. Had it been 2 inches or more, that's what you'd want to measure down from your new hem line. Now, making certain that the lining is out of the way, I will go ahead and cut on that old fold line. You would be cutting along whatever you have marked, nearest to the edge of the sleeve. All is well, but you want to note how much of the interfacing did you cut off? Maybe quite a bit. If there's this much left over here, you're going to be fine. You want to have your interfacing extend to the new fold line. Since it's kind of borderline here, I really need to put more interfacing along here. So I'll show you how. What we'll do is we'll simply cut a piece of interfacing, times 2 of course, the size of this piece that we cut off. We'll press it onto this area, then press under the new hem, and go onto the lining. As you might imagine, I have quite a few scraps of interfacing, so I found some that's going to be perfect. I'll cut a pattern piece, times 2. 2 pieces ready to go. What is this interesting gadget, you might ask? Well, I can't quite remember what it is called, but it's great for pressing narrow areas, like the sleeve that we're going to do just now. If you don't have one of these, I'll show you how to do this without one. But I wanted to make sure I introduced you to this wonderful gadget. You just slip the sleeve right on, and now you have room to move the sleeve around as you go to press. Because first we're going to press down the hemline, and then we're going to press on the interfacing. Up pressing we go. Slick as can be. Open up your sleeve, start at a side seam, lay the interfacing sticky side down, and press on. Move the sleeve around the board, smooth down, and press up to the new fold line. If the integrity of the seams is less than desired, meaning it's coming apart, this is the time now to sew that back together. But before I do that, I want to fold back to the new hemline, and I want to mark something. I want to mark where to place the lining. How do I do that? By referring to the other sleeve. And here's where I advise, do one sleeve at a time so that you can refer to the other sleeve. And then once this one is done, you can refer to it for how to handle this. So it looks like the lining is back about 1 1/8 inches from the new sleeve hemline. That's what I want to mark here. Now I have my reference line on which to hand sew the lining to. Blazer sleeves usually consist of 2 seams. So make sure that you haven't twisted too much in this process, and align your lining seams with the blazer seams up to the line that we've marked, and pin. So around the edge of the lining now, making sure to go through only the one thickness. You don't want to be showing on the outside here. blouse in any excess lining fabric. Sometimes the lining is cut a little larger than the blazer fabric, so you just kind of blouse it in. Can you tell which sleeve is done and which one is left undone? No, you can't. I'll tell you it's this one, and what we'll do this time around is follow the steps up through, starting to do the interfacing, and we'll do the rest of it without the sleeve pressing board. Without the sleeve pressing board, simply fold under at the new hemline, and especially since this is micro suede, we want to press on the inside. It wants to move a little. And it's a little awkward without the arm pressing board or the sleeve pressing board. But it can be done. With the sleeve inside out and the lining well away, we'll take the sticky side down of the interfacing piece, begin at a side seam, line it up with the press line, press it on. Give it a few seconds, flip it, pat it into place, press. Just overlap any excess. Give it a few seconds to cool. Turn the jacket right side out again. Measure off that 1 1/8 inches. Where the lining will be attached. They're all pinned. You just didn't have the stabilizing support of the sleeve pressing board. But most of us don't have one of those, and so this is how you do it. It's going to turn out really nicely. We'll hand sew around like we did before, and I'm going to show you one extra thing. Okay, up until this point, you're just going through the one thickness as indicated before, until you get to one of the two side seams. When you arrive there, which I'm trying to catch up, remove the pin, and in your next sweep, you want to catch not only this first layer, but you want to feel your way through the seam allowance on this side. Because if you only go through one thickness here, it comes away here, and you want it to be stable at the side seams. So you endeavor to feel with the needle your way through without it showing the side seam, so it cannot pull away. And that helps keep your lining in place. Do it again. Feel your way with the needle through the first thickness and the seam allowance of this area without ever showing. So yes, it's tricky. It does take mastery. So that this area does not come away. It's okay if it comes away in through here, where you've just gone through one thickness, but at the two side seams you want to accomplish this. Do the same thing when you come up to the original side seam that you started at. Go through all the thicknesses, but don't let it show. If you can't do this part, don't worry about it. I'm sure because of the accuracy of the way you cut everything and pressed everything, that it's all going to be fine. But this part is a little trick of the trade I wanted to share with you. Finished. Well done.